an anime original ending. We've seen this one before, man, and it was... Hello guys, welcome back to AZ Lore Plus. I got things to talk about here today because I think this thing is very, very important. We have to talk about something that has happened with the Kaguya anime series specifically. So to anyone who doesn't know, there was a recent TV special that came out for the Kaguya anime series where there was just a whole new trailer a couple weeks beforehand, and then boom, 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 it's out on New Year's Eve. And then next thing you know, I was actually under the impression, I was like, all right, well, Crunchyroll will probably have this in like a week or so. Nope, that was also up at almost the same time, December 31st. I was like, oh, okay, sure. Like, okay. And obviously one of the things that a lot of fans noticed, specifically the manga readers, including me, we pretty much noticed a lot of things when it comes down to the anime and what this special was going to cover. Let me tell you, they skip a lot of stuff in this TV special to the point where, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of concerned with how this potential anime original final chapter movie could potentially go. So let's start there. When the TV special dropped, so without kind of like, I guess, spoiling it, because I don't really want to give spoilers out there, when it comes down to the TV special itself, it was really, really good. It was really great, and there were specific chapters in there that I wanted to see animated personally, and we were able to see it. Thank God for that. Because if you guys remember, or maybe you don't remember, or maybe you do, in the First Kiss That Never Ends movie, they kind of alluded to a couple of chapters, but then skipped over those chapters to end the movie in a specific way, which granted, I can kind of see why they did that. Again, I'm not going to spoil as to what. The thing is, though, when it came down to those skipped things, it skipped over very noticeable events that would happen to specific other characters other than Kaguya and Miyuki. I kind of was just under the impression that, all right, we're probably going to get another season at some point. Then it will just adapt whatever it just skipped. It's just going to finish in this specific way, just so, the movie can end on an even greater note. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, But then obviously came the special, and then after I watched it, I was like, wow, this is great. But again, I'm pretty concerned about what happens next, especially if this new final chapter thing is an anime original ending in a movie format. Because the last time I had something where it was an anime original ending was Promised Neverland Season 2. And all I'm gonna say is, I really hope that with how much this series means to me, I hope that it does not go down a path where the ending is so bad it will taint the anime series as a whole. Please, Aka, do not do it. Do not do it, Aka. Please. I'm begging. Now, in regards to this TV special, again, they skipped over a lot of stuff that highlights major events that happen with other main characters. After this special, and then after they said, oh yeah, we're going to announce that this upcoming movie is an anime original ending. I was like, bro, what? Like, hello, what are we doing here? Are we going to potentially get a Pieces season where, if you guys don't know, Horimiya did this thing where in the first original season, it fast forward and skipped a lot of chapters just to go ahead and get to a specific ending to the anime. And then in a season 2, or not even if you can count it as a season 2, quote unquote, they went back and adapted other chapters to show more experiences and more developments between other characters and just overall more Horimiya, which was great, which was amazing. So is Kaguya going to get a very similar stance on this? Is A1 Pictures and the production committee and Aniplex willing to do something like that? I hope so. This is kind of like the whole thing as to why I'm very concerned. Some of the stuff that they skipped over was peak for other certain characters and their development, and I don't know if I can fathom with the fact that it might not ever get adapted. I don't know if I can live with that, to be honest with you. Again, I'm speaking as a manga reader. I went through the entire manga, I finished the manga, and obviously the ending of the series is up for debate. It's not as amazing compared to, obviously, the previous early arcs, but I still thought it was pretty good. And the manga overall is still amazing. I don't know. When they announced the new final chapter movie, they went ahead and sent over a statement from Aka, who pretty much said this. And if anything, we also got our first look of this because of Sugoi Light, who is an anime leaker. So he pretty much says here that it's supervised by the original author of Akasaka. The movie set to conclude the anime series storyline. And then Sugoi puts under this tweet saying, note, according to the author, roughly 4 years ago, he and the anime team shared a vision and agreed that Kaguya-sama anime series will not just be an adaptation of the manga, but will serve for something entirely new, interesting, that no one had ever seen before. Since then, he thought about what could be best for an anime original. One day, he came up with an idea, knew it's the only way to move forward, but at the same time, that's challenging and will be tough for anime staff. A slightly unreasonable curveball, he said. He hopes you enjoy one last ride. Okay, but like, what about this arc here? There are so many arcs in the Kaguya manga series that I can't believe that might not get adapted ever. And again, I'm just gonna say it again. I don't know if I can live with it because there are so many peak things that have happened. It needs to get adapted somehow, some way, which is why I'm really hoping there's like a pieces part to this anime series, because I just feel like it would be a missed opportunity. I don't care how people think about the ending. I don't care how people think about specific things. They need to adapt certain things, especially with the stuff that they tease at the end of the First Kiss Never Ends movie. If you know what I'm talking about and you're a manga reader, you know what I'm talking about. This person, Zenzen_0, went ahead and translated this, and it was a very good translation, so let's read it. Kaguya-sama was a work that I created together with so many people, and it was the project that taught me the joy of making things, of creating alongside others. For a long time, I shared a wish with the anime staff, not simply to make another adaptation, but to create something entirely new. A complete original work that no one had ever seen before, made together by all of us. Whenever I brought this up, everyone on the production side would say, yes, let's do it. That conversation happened about 4 years ago, which is very, very interesting because if you guys don't remember, in 2022, that was when the Kaguya manga did end in November, if I recall correctly. Ever since then, I've been thinking about what kind of story it should be. What sort of extra, what kind of indulgent addition I could give to a story that was already once brought to a close. It's been a time that's both terrifying and incredibly fun. Then one day, a single idea came to me. The moment it did, I knew this is the only way. At the same time, I also thought, wow, the anime team is going to have a hard time with this. I've been working on Kaguya-sama Love is War for about 8 years now, and only now am I throwing this kind of challenge at everyone. I'm sure a lot of people are holding their heads in their hands, but well, it's probably the last time. I believe they'll forgive me for throwing in a slightly unreasonable pitch. That's how much I trust this team. It's new, yet nostalgic. I hope to deliver you a completely original Kaguya-sama, what will surely be the very last one. There we go, I guess. Which, by the way, also, people have to kind of, like, say this. Despite this entire thing being, like, something new, we cannot blame A1 Pictures specifically for this. If this turns out to be bad, Aka is the one to be at blame, and I guess also the production committee. So just to put that out there. Now, obviously, when it comes down to that, we have to hope that whatever he cooked up and whatever was written is a good anime original ending, because I'm very, very skeptical in terms of what in the world he decided to say, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and just make an anime original of this, even though I already have an ending for it. Okay, sure. Now, one thing that one of my good friends, Brian, that guy Brian, we talked about this specific situation, and we pretty much said how, what if Oshinoko has a complete adaptation, yet Kaguya-sama doesn't? I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna feel about that. I might get pissed, actually. I might get pissed. I don't know, because apparently the Oshinoko ending of like the manga ending was not great. So I don't want to know what happens, but it's at the same time, it's kind of like I'm very scared as to what could potentially happen here. And if you look on Twitter, people are obviously saying stuff like Aka is just he can't keep getting away with this. It's just bad. It's just bad. I'm gonna go into this final chapter movie with a lot of tempered expectations because from what it looks like, especially at the end of this TV special, it seems to revolve around their adult selves. And again, it comes down to, well, what can even be written and what can even be at least remotely interesting in regards to their adult selves other than just checking up on them. I'm not quite sure. This is still something that I feel as though that every single fan should proceed with caution with, because no matter what, I'm going to be watching this thing, I'm going to watch this movie and hope to God that it's at least written good to the point where I'm not going to exactly hate it, because again, I've seen Promised Neverland. That absolutely tore a lot of things in my soul back then, so let's not do this again, please. But yeah, man, I just can't believe it. Like, an anime original ending for Kaguya-sama Love is War. I don't know, I just can't fathom with it, especially with so many things being skipped, so many great arcs being skipped. I just can't see it. I just can't see why Akka would do this. I just can't. But then again, I'm not him, so I have no idea. But all I'm gonna say is, Akka, this is my message to you, Akka. Please don't screw this one up, because Kaguya-sama Love is War means so much to me. This series is so funny, so amazing, and it has an ensemble cast that is just so unforgettable. Please don't screw this one up. Please don't do it. And if you do, I don't think I'll ever take you seriously, especially with how apparently Oshinoko went. Please, just don't screw it up. Yeah, that is all I'm going to say, because I feel as though that I at least needed to get my thoughts out there, because we really have to look at this one with caution. I'm very curious as to how people are reacting, so if you're a Kaguya-sama Love is War fan, what are your thoughts when it comes down to this specific decision? Are you a manga reader? And if you are a manga reader, without giving any sort of spoilers, how disappointed are you? Because let's face it, I feel like if you're a manga reader, you're probably kind of disappointed right now. So yeah, I don't know though. It's just that I really hope it's just written properly, because the TV special, despite things being skipped, was still a great special. It still was really good. So all right, guys, thank you all. I just wanted to go ahead and get my thoughts out there. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.